I cannot believe this, guys, as we have a major Lakers trade update that could potentially land the next superstar to pair with Luka Doncic in the post-LeBron era. We're going to talk about what this report is, who the player is, if he makes sense for the Los Angeles Lakers, and how they could potentially get this move done. And welcome to Lakers Digest here, guys. My name is Hunter Pitcoff. We cover everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers. We have a goal here on this channel to get to 20,000 subscribers. We're at over 17,000 right now, so we're getting closer and closer by the day, and we appreciate the love and support that we're getting on this channel. But with that being said, out of all you guys watching our content, 80% of you guys watching, and this number has gone down, so we appreciate it, watching our content, watching the content, are not subscribed. If that is you, and you want to keep up with everything up to date surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers, stop what you're doing right now, hit that subscribe button, because I don't want to keep you guys waiting too much longer. So let's just get into the video, man, because Luka's new running mate, who is this guy? And Hunter, why are you so sure that this could be a player that's even available? Well, this is the report that we have from Tim McMahon, and yes, this is from a couple days ago, guys, so I apologize. We've been busy on this channel. Lakers have been busy. We've been covering the games, but this is what Tim McMahon had to say about Zion Williamson and his potential with the New Orleans Pelicans, saying, quote, "I remember Bobby Marks, someone else who works for ESPN and covers the NBA as well, and I wrote a story just before Zion's return discussing what might come next for him, his trade value, and market potential. Someone told us that the goal was to ramp him up and restore his value, whether for the Pelicans or for another team. To his credit, he's handling that first part well. Some teams would have significant interest." So, of course, we've been hearing Zion Williamson, the Pelicans are bad. Zion Williamson has had a very up-and-down career with the New Orleans Pelicans. When he plays, he's fantastic. When he doesn't, which is often, he's not the best. He's been having the issues with the weight. But here's the thing now. Could he be available, because he's showing some really great promise while the Pelicans are bad? And is someone that the Lakers, or really any team, should be targeting because of that injury history? Because skinny Zion is thriving right now. He is playing absolutely fantastic despite the New Orleans Pelicans not having the season that they've wanted. Of course, they traded away Brandon Ingram. Is this team rebuilding? Did they just not want to sign him to a long-term deal? I don't know, but this is what Zion has been doing on the court in 28 games this season, averaging over 24 a game, 7 boards, 5 assists, shooting 56% from the field. Of course, guys, we know he is not that great of a three-point shooter, but I will say this, though, as well, guys. Zion Williamson also played in 70 games last season, right? That is a career high in games played. The next closest, I think, is around 64, which is his second season in the league. That was the only time he made the All-Star game. I thought he should have made it last year based on the way he was playing and how durable he was, but people overlooked him. New Orleans was a fringe playoff team. They ended up only getting the 8 seed. Of course, the Lakers beat them in the play-in tournament in New Orleans to lock up the 7 seed. So the Pelicans have not had the success with Zion Williamson. I think similar to what Dallas was dealing with Luka Doncic, maybe even more so, Zion being overweight a lot and causing him to miss a lot more time than even what Luka Doncic was. And the Dallas Mavericks had the playoff success with making it to the NBA Finals, making it to a conference finals, Luka Doncic being in the MVP conversation virtually every year, making first-team All-NBA virtually every year. I think the last 5 straight seasons he's made it. But Zion Williamson has not had that career path as much. And he was someone like Luka Doncic who was hyped up a ton even before he was 18 years old, right? Back in his days playing in South Carolina and being that absolute force, going to Duke, being a National Player of the Year as a freshman, going to the Elite Eight with Duke, as we are now March Madness season, to remember just how dominant Zion Williamson was, whether he was in Spartanburg, South Carolina, or Durham, North Carolina. The dude was more than deservedly the #1 overall pick in the draft, and when he is healthy, he is fantastic, as his stats show here. But let's bring it back, guys, because, of course, this is a Lakers channel. I don't want to talk about the Pelicans too much here. They already gave the Lakers a gift in Anthony Davis that'll help them win an NBA championship. And, of course, in theory, kind of help them land Luka Doncic here as well. But can the Lakers actually make this move for Zion Williamson in the event he actually becomes available? Because this is someone, of course, that they're going to have to trade for, because he is not going to be a free agent for a while here. He is on the second year of what was a super max deal. With that being said, though, since the salary cap is going up a ton, Guys are making $60, $70 million now. This is not a bad contract, right? He's only on the books for a little under $40 million next year, and at the end of his deal, when he'll be about 27 years old, on the books for close to $45 million. And by the time we reach that point, guys, that's not going to be a lot of money at all for Zion Williamson. In fact, if he keeps playing well, whether it's for the Pelicans, another team, he's probably going to command another contract extension. So, I know he's not really playing as many back-to-backs. I don't know if that's more of a health reason. I don't know if it's also just because the Pelicans are just bad and they're trying to lose games and trying to bring somebody else in to pair with Zion Williamson. Who knows where the Pelicans' heads are at? I'm not even quite sure them as a franchise necessarily know. Zion, of course, could have been a trade candidate at the deadline. He was not. They kept him. They were pretty firm that they were going to trade Ingram and keep Zion Williamson. So he has to become available. But in the event that Lakers do make a trade for him in the offseason, are they able to actually make the contracts work? Well, technically, yes. They could, of course, make the contracts work, although it definitely would be a lot harder and a much weirder fit if Zion Williamson and LeBron James, because they do bring a lot of similar skill sets, but we've seen how good LeBron and Luka have been, and perhaps Zion could be the predecessor there. So if we look ahead here to the 2026 offseason, right? So that's going to be perhaps LeBron's final year. He's no longer going to be on the roster anymore. They're going to be off the books for Hachimura. They could be off the books for Finney Smith, but I think he resigns. They still could have Austin Reaves there. They'd be off the books for Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, as well. So they would have a lot more cap space here and a lot more flexibility to take on a contract like Zion Williamson. But in the immediate short term here, the Lakers should prioritize keeping LeBron James. I think right now he is still a better player than Zion Williamson. This is someone who, it's LeBron. We all know how good LeBron is. I don't have to explain how good LeBron James is. And the fit with Luka has been seamless. It's going to be a better fit than Luka and Zion. But we also know, too, Luka Doncic loves the pick-and-roll lob threats. And, well, that's what Zion Williamson is extremely good at. He might not be 7 foot like Jackson Hayes or a Daniel Gafford or a Derek Lively. Luka's been throwing lobs his whole career. But Zion Williamson jumps like those guys, and even, in fact, more so. And he does give you that great vertical space, as well as the ability to be a great passer, really good pick-and-roll player, which he hasn't done as much with New Orleans just because they haven't had the playmakers like a Luka Doncic, which very few teams really do, but they really haven't had that level of playmaking per se. But I think the fit offensively is fantastic. And I think Zion Williamson, we saw him be an elite defensive player for Duke. If he can get back to that level of intensity and perhaps being at a lighter weight will keep him healthier, and perhaps that will also allow him to focus more on the defense side of the ball, especially playing with a ball-dominant guy like Luka Doncic, who can really worry about facilitating for others. Zion can really focus on what he's good at, kind of mirror a bit what LeBron does to an extent. They're not the same player, but, do have similar traits. I think he could be a fantastic fit here. And look, guys, I always say on this channel, you guys think I'm insane when I say this, but look, the Los Angeles Lakers as a franchise, look at the history. They chase the stars. They go and get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They get Shaq. They get Luka. They get LeBron. They get Kobe. They get Anthony Davis. They get Luka. They get the stars. Zion Williamson, when he is healthy, playing at his best, is a star. He is box office. A reason why he was number 1 overall pick is because of everything that comes in between. But let me know down below in the comments, guys. Would you be opposed to the Lakers making a move for Zion Williamson if he becomes available? Should it be this offseason? Perhaps they make a play next offseason, post-LeBron era. I think that's more ideal when someone like Zion Williamson, whose timeline is about the same age as Luka Doncic, matches up pretty similarly, guys. And I'm going to bring it up one more time. If you watched all the way through this video, guys, and you are not subscribed, again, 80% of you guys watching our videos over the last month are not subscribed. Stop what you're doing right now. Hit that subscribe button to keep up with everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers here on Lakers Digest.